Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to this presentation hosted and sponsored by NinjaTrader. My name, for those who don't know me, is Pablo. I'm the founder of the Indicator Store, a company that we are focused on creating software for the NinjaTrader platform. Okay, I guess we already know what it means, but it is not a bad idea to remember futures. Trading futures involves great risk. So also keep in mind that historical results do not guarantee the same performance in the future. Okay, the topic for today is about one of our best products, Markers, currently Markers Pro 2025. It is a tool that any user without any programming experience can use to create a logic, paint its signals, and also automate those signals. And it is very important to understand you don't need to program anything. It is even simpler than using Builder. Okay? It is graphical. You see a signal like the one that we see now, that little triangle, and we can configure markers to detect and automate that signal. And it has a lot of more features, like for example, we can limit the day, the time of the day, we can limit the daily limit profit and loss, and also it can work in full or semi-automatic mode. Okay, so we have, and this is also very important, we have full control over the orders. So it is not like enabling a strategy. Here you have full control if you want to take the following long, all the longs and all the shorts, or only just the following trade to the upside or to the downside. So you have full control, and once you are in the market, you can also move the orders. Let me switch to the following slide. Markers also, this is also important because when you create a strategy with Builder, Builder uses standard orders, okay? So which is the difference between a standard order and an ATM order? With an ATM, you can define the positions. You can define multiple positions. And also each position can have its own target, stop, trailing, auto break-even, chase options. That means you can define, let me show you here. This is a chart where, for example, we can select any ATM, and that ATM may have one position, two positions, three positions, each position with any size, also any target and stop, and also, as you may know, an auto break-even, a trailing stop, everything. So you define your ATM, and then you select that ATM on Markers here. That means that now Markers is going to, when it detects a signal, it is going to use that ATM. Even more, once you have the position working, you can move the orders, because it is like if you place it manually that ATM order. So you can move the orders, you can increase the trade size, you can decrease the trade size, you can cancel the order, you can cancel the trade also. And if, for example, you can on the following trade, you want to change the ATM, just check the ATM, click here, and at the following trade, it will execute that new ATM. You may say, okay, I am long. Then I have a short. You have the option to configure markers to enable or not the reversals. By default, if you have this working position, for example, now you have two contracts long. Maybe you got target one, so you have one contract remaining long. Then the system detects a short, and if you want, if you enable the option, enable reversals, this is one of the many options here, enable reversals. By default, it is enabled. That means that whatever you have currently long will be closed. Your ATM, your P&L will be checked against your limits. And if you are inside your daily limits, the trade will be reversed. So you start a new short trade. Okay? This is very important. Now, what I mentioned before is that you can detect and automate a signal. Most of the indicators out there can be detected and automated, but you can also create your signals because you have an idea, no? Like, for example, when that red line changes the slope, I want to enter long or short. Very simple. So it is so simple as it sounds. So we have, for example, one of the tools, because markers includes several tools I forgot to mention. When you install markers, inside the folder, you can see that there are several tools. All of them are part of markers. One of them is crossover, the other is slope, and this is what we are using here. This is markers slope, and you can apply that indicator to any line of any indicator that you have installed on the platform. Any indicator, not only those from NinjaTrader. On this example, we are using just an HMA, and we can see the histogram at the bottom is a representation of the slope. You can see that it is 0 when the slope of the HMA is flat. Okay? So we can detect those crossovers by 0. That means we can detect when the line, in this case an HMA, reverses its direction. This is visual. Okay, so we can create visual signals. I like the background paintings as we have here, but the indicator can use a lot of different signals, arrows, dots, vertical lines, whatever. So you can choose your preferred visual signal. But then it can also execute an order. And you can see here at the bottom, it can execute an entry or an exit. Okay, so you can define entry orders and also exit orders. That means the trade is controlled by your target, your stop, and also, if you want, by your exit conditions. Another tool is, for example, bar patterns. With bar patterns, you can define, okay, I want to detect when I have a green bar and the previous was red. Here we can see close 0 greater than open. I don't know if I can draw here. Close 0 greater than open means that the bar is green, okay, because the close this close is greater than the open, it means that the bar is green. But also, you can see here we have an end. The previous bar, close one, is less than open. That means that this bar is red. And also, 2 bars ago, the close is also less than the open, because this also is red. So here we are detecting a 3-bar pattern. The current bar is green, and the previous 2 are red. And you can say how difficult is to do that. Very simple. Let me show you this on here. We only need marker logic. And on marker logic, you just type your formula. For example, the current close is greater than the open, and the previous close, close 1, was less than the open 1. And here you can include internal variables like volume, close, open, etc. And also copied variables from lines from another indicator. For example, my EMA, for example. Let's say I want to detect when the current bar is green and the previous is red, and also the close 2 bars ago is less than the open 2 bars ago. And when this is true, I want to paint, instead of the background, we can paint, I don't know, a vertical line with enough widthness, dashed, this, and we get this. Okay, this is visual. We are not executing nothing, but I can also create a signal. We can create here a signal. We can also play an audio alert. It has several features, but for example, create a signal, go long. And then on markers, when I detect go long, I enter using a market order. But we can use any type of order. For example, I place on the high a stop order. On the high plus 4 ticks. This is an example. So we can place market orders, limit orders, stop orders, and of course, when you have a non-market order, it must have a duration, how long it will be unfilled. So here you have the bars life. So I only want to wait 4 bars. If I don't have a fill, then the order is canceled. Okay? Very simple to create your logic. It's completely visual. We can also use logics, any logic, to filter my signals, the signals that you create, or the signal from a custom indicator, because I already mentioned it. You can detect signals painted by custom indicators, and then you want to add something, for example, a filter. Let's say that we have something like this. There are a lot of, we are going long when the market is going down. That means, well, we can add, like, for example, a line, and looking if it is going up, I take only longs. If it is going down, I take only this short. Why entering long when we are going down? No problem. We can define a filter, and then you can see the signals. These signals are in agreement with the slope. So we are creating or copying signal from another indicator and then adding our own filter or logic. Even you can create a custom logic using signals from third-party indicators, no problem. And again, those signals can be used as entries or exits. Okay? When you define a filter, also, you can online enable or disable the filter, just clicking a button. Okay? The same when you have an exit condition, because maybe when you have this short, maybe you don't want to enable the exit condition. So you can turn off the exit condition. Everything is controlled from the toolbar. If you want to take all the longs, all the shorts, full automatic, change the account, okay, live. Okay, so you are trading one account and then you change the account from here using a filter, using an exit condition, and you can check here the ATM used and the P&L here. I forgot to mention, but with markers, you can detect any marker. This is the reason because the name of the product. The name of the product is markers because it detects markers. You can see here on the drawing chart marker. This is the reason because the product is named marker, because it detects any of these and also plots. Okay, so we can detect almost anything. For example, I don't know, the classic is an arrow up. If your indicator draw arrows or dots or triangles or whatever, those signals can be detected and also executed. This is the toolbar. I guess I already talked about this, but you can see here you have full control if using all the longs, all the shorts by just clicking a button, okay? If, for example, we are going up and you don't want to trade short because the trend is strong to the upside, okay, turn off the shorts. Or maybe you are waiting for a reversal because you are approaching a support or a resistance. If you are only interested in a long signal, just turn this on and this off, okay? Which is the difference between manual, I am referring to this option here. The default is auto. Auto means that all the signals are executed if this button is on. All the longs, all the shorts are executed if this button is on. This is auto, okay? On semi-automatic, if I enable the long and the system detects a long, the long is executed, and the button is turned off. It is a semi-automatic. You need to reload. If you want another long, click the button again. It will wait for another long signal, execute, and then turn it off automatically. Okay. Manual. You may say, why manual? Sometimes you want to enter the trade when you want and let markers to define when to exit. Maybe not very common, but this is also another option. Or maybe you are late and you could not enter the trade, but the signal has already happened and you had no time to configure the system. Okay, no problem. You set this to manual, here, manual, and then click on long. It will enter the market using this ATM, and then markers is in full control of the logic. When it detects an exit condition, it exits the trade. Okay? I guess I explained almost everything about market. If you have any question, if not, I want to show also a training session that we have, because maybe, let's say that you want to check this, okay? This is the following step. We have advanced training sessions all Mondays, okay? If you subscribe, you get access not only to more than 3 years of weekly sessions with videos, templates, strategies, but also you get software, including markers. Okay, so you get several indicators, get markers, but the most important, in our sessions, we define each week we define a logic, a trade setup, as we did today, no? Following the slope of a line, filtering those signals. Then we create that logic to automate. We make it with builder and also with markers. Okay? You may say, why in builder if not in markers? Because builder uses standard orders. Markers use ATM orders. ATM orders are excellent for live trading, for execution, but we don't get historical results. That means we cannot use strategy analyzer. Okay, so we cannot optimize the settings. So what we do on each session from the beginning to the end, we define a logic, create the logic with builder, with markers. With the strategy created with builder, we optimize the parameters. And then those parameters are included inside markers. So we can trade even more. If you want to check live, we have a YouTube channel. Let me post the link here on the chat. We have this open all days. Let me show you how it looks. This is our chat room. I forgot to mention that we have also a free chat room, and we have a live YouTube. If you subscribe, please subscribe and give like, but this is live currently, okay? And this is how it's working. And you can see 10 different charts working all together. Each one has a markers. Okay, each one is trading a different trade setup live. Okay? So if you want to see how it works, you can just sit and watch. Again, if you can please give me a like, that helps a lot to my channel. Let me here. Regarding my chat room on Discord, let me share my links. I don't remember which one of them is, but you can try those. One of them is from the chat room and the other I don't remember. But this chat room is free and you can find a lot of info here. Anything related to builder, strategy analyzer, you can post questions here on my chat room. By the way, this is my website. I guess all of you already know. The URL is very simple. I am going to paste it also on the chat. And I guess I have everything, but I have something special for all of you. If you send me an email to this address, okay, ninja@theindicatorstore.com, asking for info, I will send you a 20% discount coupon special for you, and also 2-week access to our live session. And this is very interesting because in 2 weeks you have a lot of time to check if you like what I have to, how I explain trade setup, and if you like my style. Okay, so that's all for me.